I feel like you have to come to New York just to see the improvements and to see what we do with it. Like, we thought this would be about London because it's our biggest event ever, but it doesn't end with London, does it? We'll bring you to New York. We'll see, no, if you do a good job of this one, and then we'll bring you to New York.
What's up, player? Straight to business. Is that what it is with you? Yeah. Are you gonna hug me with the camera, or are you?
Yeah. Where is your home? Where did you fly from?
I know, everyone keeps asking me where I live. You know, like when I go out at night, people say to me, where do you live? And I sound like a weird person. I sound like a really weird, like downtrodden, homeless person. Because I've said this several times now, and I realise I've got to have a new answer. But they go, so where do you live? I go, I don't know. How much milk did you put in?
Enough for you.
Did you put in the foamer or the creamer?
I put the little one in.
The one with the... Okay.
Pauline, do you ever worry that you raised the boy to be too fussy?
Careful. Careful what you say, Emma.
She doesn't worry, she knows.
I know. I know. Fussy Hussey, that's where the name comes from.
What name? Like, that's the thing.
That isn't where it comes from.
Fussy Hussey, that's what I called her.
We'll see, but we're going to see before 6 months' time, right?
You won't.
Easter, maybe.
Other
No,
than that,
Matthew won't be able, you won't see him for...
you never know.
Yeah.
I'm
You won't see him
always
for a long time.
I'm always 24 hours away from a flight. The hard part for me watching my mum was that when me and my brothers all left for university, my mum lost her purpose. And she didn't know where she fit in anymore. And the person you're seeing now is a totally different woman from the woman that sent us off to university, who was terrified that she was losing her role as a mum. She now doesn't define herself as just a mum, because she's not just a mum. She's an incredible woman with so much to offer and so much still to do in her life. That's who she is. She's far more than a mum. Do you know what people never talk about when you're traveling like this is how it's good to what a great thing to be able to live in 2 locations or to do, but you sort of, it's hard to build up the same friendship base. Like, just as you're getting things off the ground in one place, you then travel to another place and then you're having to get things off the ground there, and not be forgotten about. See, what adults don't realize is one of the reasons that they get bad in their dating lives is because they've also forgotten how to make friends. And many people don't want to admit that because somehow it feels more sane to admit that your dating life sucks than I just can't make friends, right? That you feel like a real loser for saying I can't make friends. And guess what? 9 out of 10 adults have no idea how to make new friends as an adult. I'll have my guy Jameson there as well. He's going to be getting his footage, and you can compare notes if he has stuff that you don't. You're free to use any of the stuff that he shoots as well. All right, we'll do. Bye.
Who was that, and why are they swooping into my exclusive?
That was the Today Show.
The what show?
NBC's The Today Show.
Never heard of it.
They're coming to get some footage for the Today Show. Actually, you know what? That would be a good chance for us to promote Love the Journey. If I can go on the Today Show and be like, oh yeah, and obviously you got some footage of the event. We're actually capturing the whole journey of the tour, and our new online show, Love the Journey. Come see it. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure on production time of it, but okay.
Well, we all know you need a deadline, so.
Speaking of which, do you want to watch a rough cut of the 50 Shades?
Oh, you joking? So it's hard. Everyone giving us different advice. Then there's the media, of course, which is a joke in terms of the way it portrays love, the way it portrays relationships. A whole nation of women being ruined by movies that portray love in the most absurd way. I present to you 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, let's see here, because he's pretty great, Mr. Grey. He's pretty great. So what's the first thing? Oh yeah, he's 27. Okay, so that's the first one. 27, young, nice. He is very much into the old sex. Loves it. All sorts of weird and crazy stuff, and he's really good at making it comfortable for you, even though it's kind of scary, but it's both. It's comfortable and scary at the same time. I don't know what I'm feeling. What else? Oh, he's good looking. Good, check. He's good looking. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, of course, he's a billionaire. Yeah. They didn't think, I love that she thought, millionaire's not enough. If we really want to make this pornographic, we have to go billionaire. So billionaire, good, okay. You might as well be looking for an alien.
Really? Have you got something I can see?
It's a rough cut.
Does it look good?
I mean, it didn't have to be a rough cut.
I want to see it.
This is just an interview about his book.
Fuck.
I have a couple dating questions. So, what was his advice like? Mr. Hussey will see you now.
You should stay clear.
The dancing shot. Was that face cracking you up when you watched it?
I was just so happy with that face.
I can see.
That shot.
Which one was that?
Slapping the milk.
It was a beautiful slap.
That is mad. That is fucking mad.
That's kind of the word I'd use, I guess.
Can I just say that honestly, it has me worried. I mean, it's
Why? What has you worried?
It's only for us. Like, it's really only for your fan base, you know? It's really not that accessible.
That is my feeling. I mean,
I know
It's
what you mean.
everything was what I intended.
It's everything I imagined. It literally is what I had in my mind when I called you up laughing about it. Like, that's what it's actually closer to my imagination than my imagination even was. Matt lies blindfolded, the two tea bags rub Matt's face and then dangle into his mouth. I can't do that. How can I do that, really? Did you really think we could do that?
Yes,
I know we can. It's going to look so weird.
Have you seen the trailer? It's fucking weird.
I don't know, are people really going to get that joke about me being teabagged? Do I want a joke where I'm teabagged? I don't know.
But it's just teabags, that's all it is.
It's really like homosexual. The connotation is balls in my mouth.
And, by the way, English tea, so you'll enjoy it.
This is not what I signed up for. This was my idea, and I'm like, it's morphed into...
Can I at least get both of you teabagged? Because if it starts off...
Can I at least engrave that quote on my fucking wall? Wait a minute. It's so subtle.
Well, I say we took the joke about as far as you could take.
We stretched it. We really stretched the joke.
Stretched it.
I mean, this was for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We need to be careful of that.
That's what worries me.
We made it for us. I mean, the people who get it are gonna...
Right.
They're gonna adore it. Alright, you need to ask me questions now, if you have any.
Do you have any rituals that you always stick to before the event? Are you able to actually do those rituals, A, or B, are you able to actually even enjoy the moment at all?
When I'm up on stage, I'll be in my element. Like I really have realised how much I love being on stage.
how much I love events. I hate the build-up. I hate the build-up. Like this right now sucks a little bit.
How you feel? How you feel?
It's always gold just before an event, isn't it? Jesus Christ. This is why I get annoyed. Because I have to put up with this. I'm already annoyed with this idea. The thing is, I actually tell you, like, I'm going to be useless before an event, so don't bother trying to get anything good.
Sometimes I don't want the good stuff.
Yeah, but it's not even like I say... It's not like I go on some big rant or something. I'm just quiet. I mean, I'm going on a rant now, but you get my point. Like, I'm usually quiet and just don't want to know you.
So when you say love the journey, do you really mean dread the journey?
This is the challenge, isn't it? Of this thing. I love the journey. I do love the journey. I think sometimes people forget that they're loving the journey even when they're sort of hating it. Do you know what I mean? Like there's that thing Elvis Duran said to me. He said, always remember, these are the days when we'll be saying those were the days. And it's true. These are the days that we'll be saying later on, those were the days. Think about that. Like you've, not just me, like you've just flown from LA to New York on zero notice, basically, to film an event with 800 women in a theatre, shoot some blog videos with one of your best mates, and show me a trailer for 50 Shades of Grey that we shot the other week. Like, you'll look back on this as an amazing time in your life. Like a really fun, exhilarating time. And it's the same for me. Like, it's just it really is amazing, even when it's shit. That's how I would describe it.
Incredible. If you don't get more from today than just something for your love life, I have failed in my mission miserably, because I always aim to over-deliver and give so much more than that. How many of you watch my YouTube channel? So hopefully you'll agree. Wow, that's loads of you. That's fantastic. I hope you'll agree that we're about so much more than that. But we are also here for one united purpose, which is to really live at an incredible level in our love lives, something that so few people actually do. To live at an incredible level. And I don't define that by whether you're in a relationship or whether you're single. I get sick of journalists talking to me about whether I'm in a relationship or single. It drives me crazy, because every time someone says it, I say, if you're asking me if I'm single, like, so are you in a relationship? I go, I know that if you're asking me that, you're missing the point. I don't define success by whether you're in a relationship or whether you're married. How many of you, put your hands up, know someone who's in a marriage and failing miserably? So you know that being in a marriage doesn't make you successful. That's surface level bullshit. Being in a relationship isn't a barometer of success. Being happy is. That's the key, is being happy. Wherever you are, whatever experience you're going through right now, how do I derive happiness from this experience? And ironically, when you derive happiness from this experience over here, let's call it being single, everyone wants to convince you to come over here, right?
Hey, man. You loving the journey?
When?
Of all the rituals I thought you would have, I didn't know this would be it.
Watching cartoons.
Yeah.
I like it. I've had people laugh at me before because I watch them. Before and after an event, a lot of the time. I did it to my mum and she laughed and she was like, her psychoanalysis is that it takes me back to like a more innocent time where there was no pressure. You know what I mean? Because as I'm about to go on stage, there's pressure. So she thinks it's like my way of being like, oh, I'm a kid, like I don't really have anything to do today. You know, like if I come at someone's house or whatever where there's like a little, like there's a dog or something, I look at the dog or the cat or whatever and I'm like, oh, sometimes I'm like, I wish I was you today.
Yeah, they do have it the easiest.
I just look at them and I'm like, you don't have any homework to do today. You just lay there and chill. I mean, I wouldn't want to really swap lives because it's pretty boring, isn't it? This little one's so funny over here. Like, when he thinks there's another dog there, he goes mental. I don't want one. I like other people's dogs. Like, this is enough for me. I'd play with him for a bit, but that's enough.
Say what you just said one more time.
I said that I feel like it is an honourable aspiration one day to just own a button shop like that. Like, look at that building. It's just one little. They probably live upstairs. I think that's like beautiful to have like a simple little life like that, where you just sell buttons on the bottom floor. It's like living every day in a Charles Dickens novel. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember we did the blog video when someone asked me who are my 3 greatest idols?
Who are your top 3 idols in your life? Yeah, I'm looking forward to your answer. Bye!
I met him on Friday.
Who's that?
I didn't tell you this. Many of you don't even know who this is, but Jamie Cullum. Jamie Cullum is a UK singer and musician who travels the world on his tours, playing the piano and singing his heart out on stage. There was a contact I had at iHeartRadio. This guy was talking to me, and he was one of the high-up execs in radio, and he said, I said, what are you up to right now? He said, I'm bringing this, one of the things I'm doing is helping this guy raise his profile here in America. He's an English guy, you may not know him. And I said, well, who is he? He said, oh, his name's Jamie Cullum. And inside I was obviously doing cartwheels. And we walk outside and there's this car waiting for his manager. And he opens the door and Jamie Cullum is sat there in the back seat and he says to Jamie, Jamie, say hello to Matt. And it was the first time in a very long time that I've actually felt starstruck. And you know, it was nice to know that I could feel that again. Especially when I've spent a lot of time in LA in the last 2 years with, you know, people who really act too cool for school in every situation. Even when they meet their heroes, it's like part of the bravado to act like you don't care, that you're not bothered by it. And I don't ever want to be one of those people. It actually felt nice to feel nervous, to feel kind of giddy and to feel emotional about that moment. If you don't feel giddy and emotional at meeting your heroes, then what is the point in anything? What's the point in progressing or in doing exciting things if you're not going to feel them intensely in those moments? I feel like too many people try and make everything too cool, and I never want to be one of those people. And to be in New York is a dream on top of that, because this is one of the greatest cities in the world. To be here is a privilege. It is an absolute privilege, and it's a privilege that so many of us forget and take for granted after being here too long. And I think that part of engaging in our love lives in a better way is falling in love again with where we are.
Well, don't you know, baby? Well, don't you know, baby? Now, don't you know, baby? Little girl, don't you know? Please listen to me, baby. Girl, I'm in love with you so. Now turn your laugh down low. I said turn your laugh down low.